Alright, welcome back guys, Chester here, and this is you're watching Pitfalls to Avoid. So today, what are we talking about? Today is not really about playing, but today we'll be talking about something we call string freshness. Right? What the hell is string freshness? Is it like going to the supermarket and buying vegetables? No, it is not like that. But in a similar way, you know how when you go to the supermarket you buy vegetables and then you keep it. You generally buy fresher vegetables at the store, right? So you bring it home, you put it in the fridge, and that's it. Alright, and over in the course of a few days, let's say you have forgotten to cook them, and then after like a week later, God forbid, you took it out of your fridge and then you look at the vegetables. Oh no, all my color is different. The green is not so green anymore. The stalks are starting to have a little bit of discoloration here and there. What happened? Alright, simply put, the vegetable that you have put in your fridge for a week, God forbid, has lost its initial freshness. Alright, and that carries over to our guitar strings as well, and this applies not only to guitar. Actually, this applies broadly to violins, woodwind instruments, anything that uses strings in particular. Okay, so what exactly is a string freshness? Okay, when you open your pack of strings for the first time when you want to restring it, when you look at the color of the strings, right? Do you notice that most guitar strings are always golden in color? If not golden, roughly golden in color. Yeah. If you haven't noticed it, I recommend that when you do your next restring, right, go and take a look. You might be surprised. Yes. So what is that gold color, right? Okay, basically I'm not gonna dive into the technicals of what a string is. Basically, guitar strings are primarily made up of bronze, if I'm not wrong. Yes, bronze. Yeah, either 80-20 bronze or phosphor bronze, but not about that today. So today, right, we want to talk about how to keep your strings like when do you know when your strings is not fresh, right? When you have been playing, right, when we play the guitar, okay, notice that whether is it we're using our pick or whether is it we are using our fingers, we are actually creating friction, alright, between the medium and the guitar strings, alright, and this in turn corrodes the string. Something like the water, beating on in the beach, beating on the waves, beating on the rocks, and then the rocks start to get corroded. It's exactly the same logic. So when you are strumming, you're in the mood and then you hit harder. Yeah, over time, okay, what this does to the strings is that they start to corrode the string little bit by little bit, and over time your strings they start to die. Alright, they start to get older and older. So how do you know if the string is not as fresh as it used to be? Okay, there's a few ways of looking at it. So one of the ways that we can identify if the string is not fresh anymore is by visually looking at the color of the strings. Alright, so you can see from my guitar, I'm not sure if you can, yes, you can see it. So can you see this part over here? Okay, notice that it is not the same. Yes, you can see this part here. Like this part is very golden, and then you see this part is not as golden anymore. Yeah, that is one example of the string being not as fresh as when it was brand new. Okay, so how does it affect your tone? Simply put, when it's not as fresh anymore, it starts to lose that sparkle. It's very hard to explain it via words, but it starts to get less bright. Alright, and for those of you guys who own a relatively warm guitar, you know what I mean, because the effect is compounded. Yeah, so when you strum more and more, when as the string gets older and older, it starts to get less. It starts to get more and more dull. The tone starts to die off. It stops giving that shine, that shimmery, and all it sounds is more like, rather than the. I'm giving an exaggerated example, right? So yes, that is one example. And if let's say that as a yellow flag, you did not restring it and you continue play on until the string starts to rust. Oh no, yes. So that is what we call by the string is dead. Alright, when the string is dead, it does not give off any of that bright sounding properties as bronze usually does. Alright, so that is a red flag for you to immediately change your guitar string as soon as possible, because it affects the guitar as well. alright, is not just for looks, alright. When your string is old, the tension of your string decreases, and this in turn affects your neck of your guitar, alright. And over time, this imbalance will cause your guitar's intonation to go out of whack. Alright, so make sure that you keep your strings fresh. So roughly, how long do I need to, how long can I use it before I need to restring it? Okay, this depends on strings that are coated, like for example, elixir strings, the Daryl coated strings. They roughly last slightly longer than their non-coated counterparts. So coated strings, they can last roughly about 4 to 5 months, if assuming every day you practice only about 10-15 minutes. Yeah, non-coated is going to give yourself about 3 months, 2 to 3 months ish, and this is about 10 to 15 minutes per day, alright. So if let's say you practice more, 1 hour a day, even with coated strings, expect your strings to start fading at the 1.5 to 2 months mark, alright. So just interpolate that graph and just make sure that your guitar is kept in tip-top condition, alright. You wouldn't want your guitar to be damaged just because of strings, alright. So yes, that's all for today. Keep your strings fresh. And that's it for you guys. See you guys.